Hello, I'm Steve Willis, president of RedJade. It's great to virtually see everyone. First off, I'd like to thank the entire committee for organizing the 18th Nordic Sensory Workshop. We are sincerely delighted to be a part of it. I'm sorry that we can't meet in person. I really am missing everybody, but I'm very hopeful that 2022 will allow us to finally all be together and meet face to face. As you know, 18 months ago, our lives were completely upended. In an instant, we found ourselves working from home, and we had to find a new way to continue to provide actionable product insights. During this 10-minute session, I will demonstrate how RedJade's flexibility enabled our users to modify their data collection processes on the fly, gather data through multiple channels, and report that data to key stakeholders instantly. This allows our stakeholders to better understand the value add that Sensory and Consumer Insights continues to deliver to your companies. As you can see, we are operating directly in a Chrome browser. RedJade is 100% web-based. You access the system directly through the web, meaning that there is no additional software or hardware to install. This makes it so that we can offer all of our licensees unlimited global simultaneous users with no limits. Your users are able to access RedJade on their terms. With that, let's go ahead and dive in. As I mentioned, this is the RedJade homepage. I'm going to go ahead and click on projects here, and I'm going to very quickly create a new project. So I'm going to click this create project button in the upper right hand corner, and I'm going to put in some details about my project. Let's just call this Nordic Sensory Workshop. And we can have a description if we want to, 18th annual. All of these fields are searchable. If you want to test background, you can add that too. These fields are completely customizable, making RedJade yours. And I'll go ahead and I'll click this next button over here. The next thing I'm going to do is put in report names for my products. These are going to go directly to any automated reporting that I have built out. In fact, anything I export out of RedJade will use these report names. I'm not going to try to be creative here. I'm just going to go ahead and enter some sample names. You'll notice on the right-hand side, again, another area of RedJade that is completely customizable. You can add in whatever you want on that side of the screen, and you can even add conditional fields. So if you have frozen products, you can have a different set of items than if you have shelf-stable products. And you can customize those menus as you go. So I'm going to go ahead here. I'm just going to set up 6 products, and I'm going to go ahead and click Submit. Next, I'm going to go ahead and choose a test type from my screen. There's lots of different test types. Again, the idea here is to be flexible and make RedJade very easy to use and make it yours. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and do cutting. I think that this test type works great for home use testing. I'm going to go ahead and click Continue with the wizard. And I'm going to go ahead from this menu, and I'm going to choose how I'm going to deliver surveys to end users. As I mentioned, RedJade is extraordinarily flexible, and it allowed our users to very quickly and easily change on the fly how they deliver surveys to their end users. On site, pre-COVID, this was done on your typical iPad or sensory booth, typical sensory testing. What we did is we actually made it so that you could register booths to panelists at home, allowing you to still collect all of that data that you're used to collecting, such as descriptive analysis or discrimination testing, and collect it where your consumers were without really changing how you were testing, right? Off-site allows you to conduct testing at any third-party facility. I saw some of our clients use this to collect data during COVID by having users set up their booths for only a short period of time. And the last one here is online. You can send out emails to consumers. You can automate that process. The emails go to the consumers. They click the link and they fill out their survey or surveys. Anonymous link gives you a static URL. Anyone can fill that out. You can create a QR code. People can scan it with their iPhones and very easily get to your surveys and fill out the data. And you can also do a packing slip, which allows you to print out a piece of paper, stick that piece of paper in a box or bag, and send that out directly to your respondents. They click the link or they scan the QR code with their phone, and they can start filling out those surveys immediately at home. Lots of different ways to collect data in RedJade, each one very simple, and they can also even run side by side. If you want to collect data from some people with a packing slip and others via email, absolutely you can do that. And the key is that data is stored directly in one file so that you're not putting that data together. Okay, no mistakes. So I'm going to go ahead in this case, I'm going to use online. I'm going to use packing slip. And I'm going to go ahead and pick my survey link. You can see it there. We'll call this Nordic Sensory. And I'm going to click on the copy link just so I can go ahead and go. And you'll also see that I have my instructions below. These instructions can be in a number of different languages. I'll explain that more in a second. I'm going to go ahead and quickly click Next. I enter my number of participants, very quick step. I determine how long I want my survey to be valid. Let's say I want it to go from today through the Nordic Sensory Workshop next week. Let's go ahead and do that through Friday. And we'll just call this packing slip. And we'll go ahead and click continue. Next, I'm going to create my surveys. Here's a really big advantage for RedJade. So you'll see we have our questionnaires support English. I can add other languages. Maybe I want to add Swedish. Maybe I want to add French, and maybe I want to add German. And let's add Dutch too while we're at it. Right? Lots of different languages. Let's click submit, and very quickly let's create our questionnaire. So I can go in here, I have different questionnaire types. Single sample, my typical sequential monadic questionnaire. No samples, usage and attitudes, demographics. Multiple samples, preference, ranking, and then of course all of the discrimination methods, including some of those that you may have never heard of. So let's go ahead, let's do single sample. I can decide if I want to display a code or the name of my sample. Again, extraordinarily flexible. I click next, I select my samples, I click submit, and now I can go in and add questions. Here, I'm just going to grab a question from the RedJade library. Let's just grab overall opinion, for example, and you can see it's available in German, English, French, Dutch, and Swedish. Over 20 languages, all professionally translated, making it very easy to collect data across the European continent without sacrificing integrity of your data, right? We make it easy for you. I'm just going to save this very simple questionnaire and I'll go ahead and close it. My last step is going to be my design block. RedJade builds a customized design block based on your inputs. We give you a Williams square design by default. Each product is evaluated in each fixed order an equal number of times, and I can easily do something like drag a sample in the first position, all while maintaining that balance, which is essential for repeated data. I click approve and I click submit. Now, if I wanted to very quickly next to this, I can easily set up, for example, an online email test, right? Again, I click next, I enter my participants, let's just say 10. Next, I decide when I want to send out that email. And I can go ahead and step through these. I can use the same questionnaires and I can use the same design. Again, the idea here is speed, ease of use, flexibility. And I click submit. And I can go ahead, I can launch my test. I click launch. And here the really cool thing with this packing slip that enables a home use test to work so well is I can click, I choose what language I want to take my survey in. I can grab one of my codes. Right, so for V4AR. And I click begin. I choose my consent agreement. I click I agree, and then I can choose my sample from the list. For a home use test, this works really well. You do not have to set it up this way. You can make it so they need to follow the design, but again, the flexibility makes RedJade key. When you're done collecting your data, you can go into your data itself. This is an example test. Clearly, I didn't have time to collect 150 people worth of data, You're going to get your ANOVAs. You can run turf. This, for example, is a 2 or 3 product solution using like extremely and like very much. And then I can create a summary analysis with 2 clicks that allows me to easily share data with individuals whether or not they have access to RedJade. That data even automatically updates. You are providing value to your stakeholders. Submitting data immediately after collecting it, or even before collecting it, let them watch the screen fill up with data. These reports include, you can highlight data, you can choose what's a good score, what's a bad score, you can show penalty analysis, all of those things that your stakeholders really want to see, and you can share that quickly. Also, we didn't go over it today, but you can also perform descriptive analysis. Automated out of RedJade is descriptive analysis plots, including subject charts, which enable you to make your panel performance better over time. And again, what makes RedJade so unique is its flexibility and intuitiveness. From collecting and reading minutes for 400 kids so they can earn free books to collecting home use data across multiple countries, our flexibility enabled our clients to continue to collect data regardless of the circumstances. As 2021 proceeds, we'll continue to offer our clients new, innovative features so that they can continue to provide their stakeholders with actionable input, regardless of what the future holds. Thank you again for your time, and there is your letter. Thank you very much. Have a great day.